and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be opening my first Lorwyn Eclipsed Play Booster box. Won't be doing prices still since it is only a few days after the official release. So my next Lorwyn Eclipsed video will have pricings. It'll be next week. So yeah, still not doing pricing yet. Prices haven't fully settled where they will be, but there are several cards that are pretty decent. So obviously the other 5 Shocklands in the set, so definitely looking for those. I think average per box is about 2, but I have seen all the way up to 4 or 5 per box. So then there's the really good rare, the Hexing Squelcher. Then some pretty cool mythics. Oh yeah, let's just get into it. See, some of the mythics are really cool. Start off kind of slow. The set cares a lot about creature types. And there's Kithkin, elves, there's giants, tree folks, merfolks, goblins. So goblins are some of my favorite. It's what I played in my pre-release. Didn't do very well, but still. And we got our first rare. It's Bree of Clan Stout Arm. Pretty cool. Giant card. Foil common, and then we got a basic and a goblin fairy token. I have 2 more play booster boxes that I'll eventually open, but I have opened a collector box, and if you didn't see that video, I highly recommend watching that video because I pull some really cool cards in there. I get a fracture foil, and then besides that, another Japanese showcase card. So yeah. And then 2 showcase special guest cards, which they've increased your chances of getting them. I think they might have even increased your chances of getting them in play booster boxes. So I'm not too sure, because I have seen somebody get 2 special guests in 1 play booster box, which is extremely rare. So that's pretty cool. We got second rare. We got the Scuzzback Scrounger. Pretty cool goblin token or creature that gives you treasure tokens. Foil uncommon. We got these pretty cool full art lands, so they look really good. And then, yeah. So those cards made the collector box really good, and so definitely one of the best collector boxes I've opened in a while. So, yeah. Like I said in that video, I did not play when Lorwyn or Shadowmourne first came out. So, got Thunderflock. Interesting. Interesting. Forest, that looks really good. Yeah, so some of these characters I know, and some of the other cards are callbacks to some of the original ones, and I don't know those cards, so yeah, there's not much connection to this set for me, besides it being really cool. So just being another Magic set that has some pretty cool cards in it. So got our first mythic. We got Vibrance. Pretty cool. I like all of these elemental incarnations that allow you to do different things if you pay a certain mana. So this is the one that I always reference because it's the only one that I can remember. But if you pay 2 red, you deals 3 damage to any target, and then if you pay 2 green, you can search your library for any land card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, and then shuffle, and then you gain 2 life. So pretty cool, and you could evoke it out for either of those as well. So yeah, pretty cool. I think most of the elementals are pretty decent incarnations. Then we got this, that is a pretty decent common that I think a lot of people are hyped about, for the simple fact that it is a 3 mana rock, but it is also a kindred artifact, so it's all creature type. So yeah, and then you could pay 4 and turn into a 4/4 creature, which is still all creature type. So any deck that cares about creature types will definitely want that card. Seems pretty good for a common. So also, I think a few uncommons that seem pretty decent, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's another pretty interesting uncommon that kind of like Reclamation Sage, if I'm not mistaken, and allows you to destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment when it enters, but it's also a changeling, so it's all creature types. So definitely can go in quite a few decks as rare as well. We got the Bristlebane Battler. This is a card that I think is pretty good. It's a 2 mana 6/6 that has Ward 2 and Trample, but when it enters, you put 5 -1/-1 counters on it. But whenever another creature you control enters, you remove a -1/-1 counter from it. So it can be pretty easy to get that from being just a 1/1 all the way back to its former glory of a 6/6. So yeah, definitely a pretty cool card. It can be good. So this is another decent uncommon that seems pretty cool. It's a changeling with Convoke. It's also a copy, but it keeps changeling, so it's still a shapeshifter and all creature types. So pretty cool. We got an Eclipsed Flamekin, borderless uncommon, or showcase uncommon. Pretty cool. We got Dream Harvest. This card definitely beat me up in pre-release, taking some of my best cards away from me and allowing them to cast them for free. So got Fable, Figure of Fable, pretty cool rare, allows you to level up and it slowly gets better. Yeah. So I have to say, I don't really like how they kind of took away the promo from pre-release kits. Now it's just a regular rare mythic. It's just foil. There's no year stamp on it anymore. So I was kind of disappointed when I realized that when we were there. But we got our first Shockland of the box. Hopefully there'll be more. We got Hollowed Fountain. Pretty cool. And we got Abigail, Eloquent First Year. It's another card that I like that makes it to where a creature, not just your creatures, but your opponent's creature, you choose it, it loses all abilities, and then you put a flying first strike and lifelink counter on it. So it can be a downside if you give it to, if you choose one of your creatures an opponent controls, because they gain all those counters and stuff. But it can also be pretty good to put on some of your creatures, because I had her in my pre-release and was able to put it on one of my 6/6 goblins that I have to blight 2, or I think at my beginning of my upkeep, or my first main phase. So definitely wanted to give that flying first strike and lifelink. So yeah. One more commons. There's another one of those Chopling Changeling. Champion. Champions are the perfect. One of those cards that's kind of a callback to the original champion ability. Pretty cool. Yeah, so I was disappointed when I realized they weren't doing the year stamp anymore on the promos, so now they're just regular foils. And I know some people were probably a lot more disappointed because at some pre-releases, their pre-release kit had their promo card was a card from Ninja Turtles, the next set to come out. Here we go. This is a pretty decent mythic. We got Bloom Tinder. Well, it's a really good card. It allows you to... It has Vivid, which is just depending on what color of permanents you control. Then it has it to where you could tap it for each color among permanents you control and add 1 mana. So you could tap it essentially for 5 mana if you have 5 all colors. So all 5 colors. That was one of the Japanese showcase cards that I got in my collector box. So pretty good card. But yeah, because somehow Wizards messed up that bad, and I think multiple stores ended up getting pre-release kits that had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards instead. Got Slumbering Walker, it's a rare. And we got Tristan Callous Cultivator, which flips to Tristan Penitent Color. Pretty cool. And then because they somehow accidentally did that, you could essentially find every rare mythic that was in the set somewhere out on the internet. So Wizards just officially revealed all of them on their website. So I haven't really looked at any of them. I've only seen a couple of them, and I can't even really remember what they were. But I'm looking forward to that set, not because I'm the biggest Ninja Turtles fan, but we got Selfless Safe Right. Pretty cool elf that gives that can give all your creatures of a chosen type gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So pretty cool. I'm put it up top because I think it's a pretty decent elf card. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Ninja Turtles, but I'm still looking forward to it because ninjutsu is one of my favorite mechanics because from Kamigawa. So it's definitely looking forward to the sneak mechanic, which is a newer version that might be a little better than ninjutsu because it's considered casting them, the card. So yeah, we got Mirror Mine Crown, which is a pretty cool rare. Has it's where as long as it's equipped to a creature, the first time you would create 1 or more tokens each turn, you instead create that many tokens that are copies of equipped creatures. So I think it's a pretty cool equipment, allowing you to copy essentially anything if you're making tokens. So then we got Glenalindra Guardian. This is another rare that seems pretty good. It has flash flying, and then it enters with a -1/-1 counter on it. But you can pay 2 to remove a counter from this creature, and it doesn't even have to be -1/-1 counters, any kind of counter. And then you can counter a target non-creature spell, and then its controller draws a card, so that can be a downside if you see it, but at the same time you're most likely countering something that they really want or will benefit them more than that card. So really good. Another really good rare. Well, so when it comes around to the Ninja Turtle set getting there, showing off like spoiler season, there definitely won't be as much since all the rares and mythics have been showed off at this point. But we got Flitterwing Nuisance. I think that's how you say it. So rare and the borderless. Pretty neat. Pretty cool. A lot of the showcase or borderless cards look really good in this set. So yeah, since all the rares and mythics have been showed off, they won't have nearly as much to show off when it comes around to that, but they will. Obviously, there's still special treatments and stuff, so yeah. I know a lot of people are probably tired of Universes Beyond at this point, which I just don't like the fact that they have so many sets getting released in the same year. It's just too many. We got Grubb's Command, pretty cool. I think there's a command. There's a whole cycle of commands that all rely around the different multicolored flip creatures, I think. So, yeah. Because I know there's the Star Trek set that they'll have at the end of the year, but I don't really plan on. I honestly, I think I might skip that set entirely. Like, I thought about buying maybe one collector box or one play booster box, but I think I'm just gonna straight out skip that set. We got Champion of the Weird. And we got a foil rare. We got Doran, Besieged by Time. Pretty cool. Pretty cool card that cares about toughness. Yeah, pretty cool. I think this is a cool card, so I'm gonna put it up top. Seems like a pretty cool card that you can play as your commander. So yeah, Star Trek's at least one set I'm fully skipping that comes out this year, so I'm looking forward to the other Universe Beyond sets because I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, so I'm excited for that, and I'm a big fan of Marvel, so I'm really excited for that set. We got another mythic, another one of the better mythics of the set. I don't think it's the best mythic, but it might be the best mythic, I'm not too sure. But we got the Bitterbloom Bearer. It's a 2-mana 1/1 fairy rogue that has flash and flying, and then at the beginning of your upkeep you lose 1 life and create a 1/1 blue-black fairy creature token with flying. So yet again, that is almost a 1-to-1 for Bitter Blossom. So we got 6 command, second rare of the box or pack. We got a foil Borealis Mountain. So you can get Bitter Blossom in the as a special guest card in this set, so it is like one of the best ones you can get. So hopefully, we got a special guest card. We got Heat Simmer. Pretty cool. I don't think this is this is definitely not one of the best ones you can get, but still, I have to say, I really like the artwork on all of these special guests. Well, most of them, because I think what they did for the artwork, they had the artist, if I'm not mistaken, they did it like out of paper and layered it on top of each other, and then they put that artwork on the card. So that's why some of these look a little 3D, because it's a layering thing. So they all look really cool, so definitely cool. This artwork on this card is also pretty cool for the Vivin. I love the artwork on that card. We got Sig, Wander Wine Wisdom. It flips over into Sig's Wonder Brand Shield. Pretty cool. Get that in the pack immediately after getting Sig's command in the pack before, so pretty interesting. So not one of the best special guest cards, but the artwork looks really cool on it, so not gonna complain too much when it's a special guest. So yeah, the two that I got in my collector box also weren't the two best, but pretty cool anyway. Okay, there we go. This is the best rare of the set, or might be the most expensive base version of a card in the set. It's at least the most expensive rare. We got Hexing Squelcher. Reason why it's so good is it's a 2-mana 2/2. It can't be countered, and then it has Ward, pay 2 life, And then spells you control can't be countered, so anything you cast can't be countered. Then other creatures you control have ward, pay 2 life, so really good card that you can see play in a lot of things. I know that it was pre-selling for, I think, $30-$40. Not too sure if it's still at that price range, but still a really good rare, so I'm not gonna complain about getting that. We got Twin Flame Travelers, pretty cool, allowing your elementals to trigger additional time triggered abilities. We got Deep Channel Duelist in the showcase art, just an uncommon. We got Eclipsed Kithkin. We got a rare. We got Sapling Nursery. Another card that I think is really cool, having affinity for forest, so it costs 1 less to cast for each forest, and then it has whenever land enters under your control, you create a 3/4 tree folk. Then you can pay 2 and exile it, and then all tree folk and forests gain indestructible until end of turn that you control. So definitely the borderless art on that on the Sapling Nursery is definitely pretty funny. So I think it's a good card. I watched the arena video earlier today that showcased that card, and it kind of went crazy with the green shell from Wilds of Eldraine. So pretty cool. Got Kin Binding as a rare. Pretty cool. Then we got a Mist Meadow Council foil common. So hopefully can get another Shockland. I'd like to get another Shockland. Hopefully more than just one, but it'll probably just be one. So yeah, we got Eclipsed Flamekin. Got the Omni Changeling. We got a Showcase Bolgart Curse Crafter. Another one of those decent goblins to put into your goblin decks. We got Inblaze Epiphany, rare. We got the Safe Right Cavalry and foil common. The Oval Hurler, Kithkeeper, Swataway. We got Lava Leaper. It's another card that I like. It's not particularly good, but it could be good. Get down here because I know it's not that crazy. We got Winnowing. Winnowing? Pretty interesting card. Interesting rare. We got Nightmare Sower. It's a foil uncommon. Then a foil borderless. And then, like usual, I'm excited for the 2 other like actual in-universe sets that we have coming out. That is Strixhaven, which I've opened. What, like, got Ashling Rekindled that flips into Ashling Rimbound. Pretty cool rare. Yeah, I opened a whole set booster case that was in Japanese on my own time, what, 2 years ago now, just trying to get the their Japanese showcase cards that they have that look really cool, and I did in fact end up getting a Demonic Tutor, so pretty happy about that. So definitely excited to see what they do with this Strixhaven set that's coming out. It's the one to come out after Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And we got Tristan's Command, rare, another borderless island, and then Reality Fracture, which Don't really know what they're doing with that set, but I'm looking forward to it because it sounds pretty cool. Reality Fracture is definitely a pretty cool name for a set, so looking forward to that set. And then I've already said which Universe Beyond sets I'm looking forward to. So got Rimfire Torque. Not Torque. We got Rise the Evermore. We got a Moonveil. Something. Foil uncommon. There's 4 more packs after this one. This guy got Puka's Eye. Interesting. Got Boulder Dash. Prismatic Undercurrents. We got another mythic. We got Chronicle of Victory. Another pretty cool mythic. It's an artifact. When it enters, you choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +2/+2 and have first strike and trample. And then whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, you draw a card. It does cost 6 mana, but really good artifact. That will probably see some play somewhere. Well, in many tribal decks, so pretty cool. Pretty cool artwork from the Phyrexian Invasion, which is from March of the Machine, which is the set that got me back into Magic. So yeah, without that set, I wouldn't be doing this right now. So there we go. We got another Shockland. We got Steam Vents, which is arguably the best one that you can get in this cycle. I think this and Hallowed Fountain are the 2 best ones you could get. So pretty cool. Glad to see a second Shockland. And then we got a foil Oko, Lorwyn's Liege. Definitely some interesting art on that card if you pay close attention to it. And then the back side we got Oko, Shadowmourn's Scion. Pretty cool Planeswalker card. Don't know if it'll see too much play, but still pretty cool. Pretty cool mythic. They also have a Johnny in this set, so Johnny is one of my favorite Planeswalkers, right behind Chandra. Just because I have a deck on Arena with him in it, and it just is meant for gaining life. It's not really good, but still. Got Eclipsed Bogart in the showcase. And we got Carol? I don't know. A tentative first year. Pretty interesting. Then we got the Candyland Plains. Yeah, there's one more pack after this one. This is the card that I'd like to pair, that was paired with Abigail in my pre-release. Because it's a 6/6, but it has it throughout your first main phase. You have to blight 2. If you don't, you lose 3 life. So definitely don't want to have that ability. So we got a Twilight Diviner, pretty cool elf card. We got another mythic. We got a Borderless Curious Colossus. Definitely not one of the best mythics, but still pretty cool. It is the borderless one, so put it over here. I'll put it under the special guest. We got a Brambleback Brute, a foil common. This is the last pack. We got Ken Bowles Aspirant? I don't know. Got Noggle the Mind. Got Mud Button Curse Tosser. The Bristlebane Outrider. Then we got the High Perfect Morcant. Another pretty decent rare. that has it to where whenever an elf you control enters, each opponent blights 1, so they have to put a -1/-1 counter on a creature they control. And then you can tap 3 untapped elves you control and proliferate. And then you can only activate that as a sorcery, so definitely another pretty decent rare. We got a Borderless Mountain. Right, so yeah, I'd say this box was pretty decent. It had the usual, like I said, the average on Shocklands is only about 2 per box, so not gonna complain about a Hallowed Fountain and Steam Vents, because they, I think, are the 2 best that you could get out of this cycle. Got a few of the rares that I think are pretty decent, that I know are pretty decent. We got the Bristlebane Battler, and then the Glenelendra Guardian, and then Hexing Sculpture, which is the best rare of the set. And then there's the High Perfect Morcant. And a few other rares over here that I like and I think are pretty cool. We did get a special guest card. We got Heat Shimmer. Pretty cool. Not one of the best ones you could get, but still pretty cool. Then besides that, there was 6 other mythics in the box. There was the Borderless Curious Colossus, which is pretty cool mythic. And then there's a Foil Oko, and then a Chronicle of Victory. Then there's the Bitterbloom Bearer, which is the headliner card of the set. And then there's Bloom Tender, so also another really good mythic. And then Vibrance. So yeah, only one of the elemental incarnations in this box, but I'm not going to complain because I haven't had that one yet. So yeah. Anyway, like I said before, I have 2 more play booster boxes to open for Lorwyn. Yeah, open those in the next few weeks. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing. But other than that, thanks for watching and hope to see you next time.